Welcome back Heroclix fans to today's run through of the DC Rebirth set. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the figures, pick out some of our favourite commons, uncommons, rares, super rares and eventually chasers. I have managed to get down to a sealed, so I have some idea how the figures work, how they play. So I'll give sort of a rating or how much I like them based on sealed play, constructed casual and constructed metagame. Now let's start with number 1 in the set, which is actually Deathstroke. Now we're not going to look at every figure, but this is one I picked out which is quite good for sealed. I think his dial's probably a little too short and he's a little overcosted for metagame, but he has 11 attack penetrating, he has charge or running shot, so he's quite versatile, 18 defense with 3 damage, exploit, so whether you're charging or you're running shotting, you're doing penetrating damage. And it's his trait which actually makes him a good sealed figure for me. When Deathstroke KOs one or more opposing characters with an attack, after resolutions heal Deathstroke 2 clicks. So this is a character that is going to be killing a ton. So he's going to be healing a lot, he's going to be dealing a lot of damage, so fantastic figure for sealed play. I'm going to give a small mention to Kid Flash. He is only 50 points, so that's good. He's got 10 attack, 3 damage, which is good for a Flash. He's got super senses, shape change and 10 movement with hypersonic, so he's going to be tough to get to. He ignores elevated and hindering, so he's going to be, on some maps he's going to be a nightmare to get to, and then if you do get to him he's going to be tough to hit. So this might be one for sealed. I could see him maybe filling up a Teen Titans or Speedster team if any of them become meta, but right now I don't see much use outside of fun constructed and sealed for this figure. But I do really like the sculpts for the speedsters in this set. I do quite like Nightwing. As a character I'm not a big fan, but this piece in particular is quite versatile, so he has the power of choosing close combat expert, range combat expert, perplex or outwit. That's a really neat ability, so he can be offensive when he needs to, he can outwit if you need it, perplex, like there's so much he can do. He ignores elevated and hindering as well. Running shot 10 attack, 2 damage, which isn't bad. But also he's got the Batman family ability, or I should say keyword. There's a lot of good characters for that right now. And he's also got Teen Titans. And for our final common worth a mention, we've got Superman, Kong Kenan, which is the Justice League of China. It's just a tough dial, he's got protected, perplex and prob. At the beginning of your turn, choose a combat value. Modify the chosen value by +1 until your next turn. If you start at 150 points, modify it by +2 instead. Now, I think that's actually insane. That's such a good power, especially in sealed, but you maybe see some use of it outside. He's got mystical, the ability to up his stats before perplexes and other support. I mean, we could see something with it. First uncommon I want to mention is, again, Kid Flash. This time it's Wally West. He's got 12 movement, 10 attack, 18 defense with 3 damage. Again, super senses, shape change. He's got a bit more movement. He's got the Speed Force trait, which gives him even more movement. So he's going to be a nightmare to pin down. He's also got Flight, and it says free. Choose one. Force Blast, Smoke Cloud, or Telekinesis. Until your next turn, Kid Flash can use the chosen power and may remove a speed token to activate it as a free instead. Now this is insane. Free TK is so good. I mean, you can now TK yourself, so he's an absolute monster alone without even having support. I actually really like this figure and I'm a big fan of Wally West Flash. Now these figures are so similar, I'm going to just pile them together. We've got Steel and we've got Citizen Steel. I actually pulled Steel in my sealed and he was definitely a standout for me. So he's got a super long dial, he's got reducers so it makes it even longer. He's got a trait which says when Steel is hit with a close attack, after resolutions, deal the attacker 1 penetrating damage. Now of all the speedsters and charge blades characters in this set, that's so good for sealed. I doubt we'll see any use of it outside, but he does have the robot keyword, he does have Justice League, so there might be something clever people can do. And dealing damage without having to roll is always a good thing. And obviously Citizen Steel similar, long dial reduces, deals penetrating damage, but it has the massive bonus of the trait which says opposing characters with colossal can't be placed within 3 squares. If he cost 110, they can't be placed within 4 squares. Now that is incredible. That sort of counters a lot of colossal retiles out there, which is massive. At 35 points, we'll see him in the metagame. He will sneak into a few teams. Celebrity is quite a good keyword at the minute, so there might be some popular characters you can pair with them. Mr. Terrific is just terrific. For 70 points, he can attack through his spears, which is similar to Phantom X. Nowhere near as good, but it's a very similar ability, which is incredible. He can make 3 of them. They've got sidestep, flight, so they can move around easy enough. Really cool figure in sealed. Again, in constructed, it's going to be a ton of fun. I don't think we'll see it outside of that. I should, considering I played against it and it tore my team apart a bit, Tempest. So he's got a smoke cloud is free, and you can roll a dice and you either get an action token or you're dealt 1 penetrating damage, which is insane. He's so good for his points. It's something you have to actually focus on and kill, which is annoying because apart from that, he's not that dangerous. He does have Perplex, Charge, 6 range, so he's quite a good figure, but he does have Regen later on, so he's just an annoying figure to deal with. Now, I'm unsure about Superboy. In sealed and constructed fun, he's going to be incredible. 14 charge, I think is unseen, I don't know. Maybe in an older figure, but that is just insane. That's 7 he can charge. Since it's charged, you can throw the enchanted crowbar on him for 4 penetrating with 11 attack. His stats are so good, invincible, just an insane figure. Especially if you pair him with Robin, if you can find a good enough Robin, he gets plus speed and attack, so he could potentially be moving for 8 and then swinging with 12 for 4 penetrating. I think if someone's clever enough, they might be able to come up with a team for this one, and I just really like the figure. The sculpt's cool. It's definitely one I'm going to keep my eye on. I guess the only downside is how short his dial is. 5 clicks. I mean, it's only 75 points, so you can't expect much, but it's a little disappointing. Dolphin, for obvious reasons, it can change its dial, it can be hard to kill, then it can change into this Blades, Battle Fury, 11 attacker. For 30 points, that's just insane. With Atlantis as well, there's a lot of water themed stuff out at the minute, so you could see some teams built around this. But now we're moving on to my 2 favourite figures from the set, Shazam and Black Adam. This Shazam is similar to the chase we got. I mean, its dial's quite similar. Some of the abilities are, yet it's only a rare. It's just weird to see that. It's got hypersonic, a lot of impervious. Sorry, not impervious, invincible. And invincible with mystics is my favourite combination. He can stop Pulse Wave, Outwit and stuff, so you could actually after fight through those abilities, which I love, which is the same reason I like Black Adam, because he's got Mystics, Quintessence, and his stats are insane. He's got a free movement where you roll a dice and move that much, so he's always got mobility. Black Adam's actually my favourite figure in this set, so if nobody else is, I'm going to try and build a team with it and see what I can come up with. I mean, I notice now it's got the Secret Society of Supervillains, which my other favourite figure, Starro, does, I think. I think that's the same society, so I'm definitely pairing those 2. I mean, I'm starting to think of a team now. I should probably save that for another video, but my favourite figure in the set will definitely see some play. Raven's the perfect mystical figure. She fits into so many teams. She's got the carry ability, which is I'm trying to think. There's the Doctor Strange that has it, but yeah, it's something mystical definitely need. It's also monster keyworded, which is kind of scary because at the minute monster is so good. So I didn't actually notice that. That's going to be, yeah, that's probably going to be the most sought out rare, I should think. It's got the Mystics team ability as well. That's just going to be so good. It's got all the support powers you need, and it's got the carry passenger 3. Definitely going to see some of that. There's going to be play with Raven. And finally, I guess we should give a shout out to Shade the Changing Girl. Super annoying. She's got poison and she's got shape change where you could force them to attack their own team. So you really don't want to hit this figure, so that's kind of cool. And that might be something we see played, I don't know. Hopefully we do. Imagine a team of them. It'd be so annoying. That's someone I'm going to build as well. Finally, we get to my favourite section, the super rares. So we should probably start with the first one, as Black Canary is quite good. So she's got a Pulse Wave power which says, when Black Canary uses it, you may remove a bombshell token. If you do, after resolutions, give an action token to each hit opposing character. Now this is insane. For 65 points, I could see it being played anyway. So whether it's sealed or whether it's the meta game, we'll probably see this figure. That's not all. As well as having that, on the Pulse Wave she has Force Blast. So they are going to be knocked back. They have no powers, so they will be knocked back. So you have the chance of knocking them off elevated or into walls. This figure is just insane. It's so good for the points. I think for sealed, the Lex Luthor is very good. It's Lex Luthor's defense power which makes him interesting and something I'd actually like to play. So he has impervious, but Lex Luthor takes a maximum of of 1 damage from the first attack that hits him each turn. He's also protected outwit, so that is actually going to come into play, which is going to be so difficult to deal with. He is 200 points. I'm not sure his damage is high enough to warrant that. Only 6 range. He's sort of in the middle for me. I'm not really sure about him. Now, Mr. Oz is the one everyone's talking about. Even at his 40 points, he's incredible. So let's look at his abilities he gets for 40 points. He gets telekinesis. Whenever a character is placed by telekinesis after resolutions, you may place that character within 2 squares and line of fire of their current square. So he just gets a bit of a boost on it. Bend it, I guess. He can get around corners with it, which is insane. He also has probability control with a range of 12, which when you realise that he can see through, blocking, elevated, ignores characters, it's just, that is pretty much everything. On your turn for prop, that's all you're going to need. He's just so good. He's got the cosmic keyword as well, which is big at the minute, with figures like Starro and Photon, Star Fox, stuff like that. Whether it's 40 points or 100, this figure is going to see some play. Starfire is the other one. This is one of my favourite figures from the set. Massive fan of the character. At 100 points we could still see her played in sealed for sure, but at 50 points is where she really shines. Running shot, pulse wave, and she has a stop click which gives a charge, flurry, force blast with 4 damage, battle fury, 11 attack. It's absolutely terrifying. For 50 points, that is insane. You better hope when you hit her onto that click she is not up close, because as well as having 18 defense, she also has combat reflexes. Flex Mentallo is kind of cool. He's annoying to deal with, so you might see him in some teams. 75 points isn't that bad. He has the trait which lets him heal, so it's kind of a cool figure. This Superman is a bit of a monster. For 175 points, he has hypersonic, 12 attack, invincible with 4 damage. That's a bit more like it. That's 25 points less than Lex, so maybe this will see a bit more play. It doesn't have the protected outwit though, which hurts it. But it does have the free quake option. It's got charge, flurry, sidestep, so mobility later on. If it had a stop click, it would be a lot better. I think possibly 100 points might be good. I don't think it will see competitive play at all, but it's a really cool Superman for constructed and sealed. Bizarro Prime is a weird one. His dial's really weird. There's no consistency. There's not really much to build around. The only cool combo I thought of was because he has 5 printed damage. Throw the ball and chain on him and he's quaking for 5 damage to everyone, which is kind of insane. Against the right team, that will absolutely destroy them. I would love to see someone make that team. If not, then again, that's another one I'm going to take a shot at. Now, chases is difficult. This is my first set breakdown, so I'm going to impose the rule of I can only pick out 1 chase. So I feel like chases in general are just really strong and could be made into any team. So for this one, I think I'm going to pick out Dawnbreaker. For 200 points, it might see some play. I think the fact that it can generate bystanders, and with Iron Man being so popular at the minute, he'll definitely see some play, but it might be at his 75 point dial. Both are really good dials. The ability, obviously, to do that is where he stands out. So it might be the lower point he's played at, but he's got good range, good attack, damage, movement. It's just a good all-round figure, and the sculpt looks incredible. I know I said I'd only pick one, but obviously Barbatos is going to be the chase. With monsters so strong at the minute, he just bolsters that. They need that big attacker. At the minute, I'd say their best is probably Surtur. This replaces that and is probably better. It's a really strong dial with really good abilities. Even at 100 points, this is going to see some play. This and I would say the Joker are going to cost so much. But that is my breakdown for the Rebirth set. My next series for Heroclix is going to be my top 10 figures from each set. So look forward to that. But until next time.